Hi, welcome back to Green TV. I am your happy host, happy to be interviewing the greenest people I know. It's what I do. It's what I love to do. Talk to the eco-solutionaries. We have so many challenges. We have so little time. We're talking about all the big issues, from plastic pollution, which this one is going to be about, to electric cars, to waste, my favorite of all topics. That's my entry-level drug. I got into environmental media because I hate waste. So this next interview is going to be right up my alley. I'm very pleased to welcome to Green TV, Colleen Brennan-Vandersteen. She's from Canada, and we met on Clubhouse, which, if you don't know, it's a newish social media app. It's audio, so it's like talk radio. So that's probably why I spend more time on Clubhouse than any other social media platform. But been in a lot of climate and sustainability rooms, and through it have met so many people who are just on the cutting edge. Colleen's name is mentioned when she's not in the room. That's how I know I should talk to her. So welcome.
Well, thank you, Betsy. This is great to see Green TV, and you're on the right path to voicing it even more. This is exactly what the world needs. They want to hear solutions, and so that's what we're all about.
There are so many, but if the public doesn't know about it, they'll just get depressed and pull up the covers and say, oh, we're screwed. And we're right at that moment now where people are waking up to smell the carbon and realizing, oh, we got a problem. We got a lot of problems, and they're not getting the issues addressed in mainstream news. Wanted to ask you, what is SOP? Sounds like kind of wilting, SOP, but it's so not that, because SOP stands for
Save Our Planet. Save Our Planet. So first of all, I'm a lean architect. I assess process efficiency levels, and most are failed. That's why we are in a crisis.
Wait, I've never even heard that term. This is why I love doing this, because I learned a lean architect. I've heard of green architects.
I'm going to call it lean because it's more assessing the process efficiency levels. And again, we're failed in all our processes. That's why we're in a world crisis. And I'm also 35 years technology with IBM, won many awards in automation and designing. And I was told after having my second child that and I'm out sorting my 5 recycle bins when my neighbor came over and said, Colleen, it doesn't work. You're just wasting your time. I went, no, that can't be. That you're telling me. He said, no, it's just on TV. It's not working. So I kicked my blue bin, and that tidbit will make you think. So we moved out to the country, and the drinking water didn't test well. I walked into a 24/7 self-serve water refilling station, and after many years of using it, I finally walk in there and I go, this is such a great business. I want one. And why do we stop at water? Why aren't we refilling more? I've used the same containers for 17 years. It feels great to pay only for product and no waste. So I'm now looking at this system going, hey, that tidbit kicked in. We have a major problem. And
you mean that recycling doesn't work? It's kind of a myth.
Recycling is only after 50 years is only at 8% efficient.
And I'm really sorry to hear that's true in Canada too. I thought it was just
it's everywhere. It's global. It's actually global. I started with the research. When I started looking at the system, I go, I love the system, but I have to redesign it for all products. And so I have patents approved in Canada, US, and Australia on high volume dispensing with the least amount of resources. Because if you're redesigning infrastructure, it has to be sustainable as well. We can't drain, we cannot drain any more resources. So that's how this all started.
When was that, by the way, where you kicked the recycling bin?
My daughter was born in 1998. And that's when I was informed. Now, these tidbits are the key to making people think differently as well. So I'm glad he said something to me, because if he never would have said, I would have been naive like everyone else, thinking everything's working when it's not. So I started redesigning the system. And so it took a lot of work, a lot of research, lean research. In other words, I'm attending conferences that are sustainable brands out of California. Walmart was there. I targeted Walmart.
I was there. I went to those.
Yeah. So I was there in 2011, and I said, listen to Walmart stand up there and say, we seek technology to remove packaging, will increase our profits. I went, I'm on the right path. And so I started marking that down. I said nothing that year. I was getting a little bit of attention. but I was so, the vision was too big. I couldn't even explain it properly. So I went back the next year and heard the same thing, but this time I had an opportunity. I had grown a little bit in that year. So I was able to explain a little bit. And so this time, by chance, the Walmart presenter was, came into the coffee shop. I was sitting with one of the organizers and discussing at that time, Save Our Planet Refillery. And he walked in and he said, "You guys are in a deep discussion. What are you talking about?" "We're talking about her business. You should hear it. It's up your alley." And he went, "Okay, let's tell." So, "Well, I'm transforming distribution to remove packaging." Perfect. "May I ask what you're doing?" I said, "We're going to 322 gallon totes." He said, "Tell me more." So I told him a little bit more. He said, "May I make a suggestion? You create a showcase that demonstrates system functionality, consumer acceptance, and statistics, and we will come." So, okay, I thank you for the white page to give me something to focus on, which is exactly what I needed. And I've had many stories. I actually met a brand supplier at that conference as well, and eventually had a discussion with them. Ecos, Earth-Friendly Products in California. I had a 10-page PowerPoint. I went there with, started my presentation, got to page 2, which was a wall dispensers that showed laundry soap, dish detergent, and everything. And she just goes, "Colleen, please stop." I said, "May I ask what's wrong?" "Nothing's wrong. You have the most sophisticated system we've ever seen. You have technology. You have high quality stainless steel. What are you sending me?" I said, "A 322 gallon tote." She goes, "You realize that's 322 1-gallon containers, caps, labels. I don't have to buy. I don't have to fill, pack, store, or ship. How big is it?" "It's 5 feet by 5 feet by 4 feet tall." She goes, "You realize that you've just reduced our operating cost by 20%, because the volume of 322 package containers is like 20 feet long by 6 feet wide. We're just," so I walked away and I went, yes, if they save money, consumers save money. The industries I'm selling the systems to save money. And then we get to the recycle programs that we're paying into. If everyone is enabled with reuse habits, we can stop these failed programs that we are throwing money away into. They're not doing anything. So Save Our Planet Refillery is designed more B2B, because that's the fastest way to transform distribution. Since the root cause to global waste is distribution, it's not packaging. The beauty of it is it enables consumers with their own purchase power. If I don't like the containers on the shelf, I have no other option but to buy them. They're dictating what I can buy. When you enable reuse habits, I can bring the container I like in the volume and style I desire. And this creates a whole new purchase power. And you don't have to throw, families are throwing away at least $3,000 a year just on packaging. And that high profit margin hidden in the packaging. So it's a true triple bottom line when you enable reuse habits. It's smart, sustainable savings economically and environmentally.
So is this catching on with consumers? Because I certainly understand the benefits for the merchants and the producers. And I 15, 18, maybe 20 years ago on Trash Talk was talking about the concept of producer responsibility, and how we need to make the manufacturers pay for the recycling of the computer, whatever. So that's not a new concept, but yet we haven't seen it catch on in a way it needs to, certainly in this country. Is Canada ahead of us in this? And I really do want to hear, how have you gotten consumers to buy into this? Because sure, there's the zero waste fanatics, and we do it. I don't do it 100%, but if it's easy enough, we'll do it. But so many just don't even realize that there's a problem, which is why we have Green TV, hopefully to spread the word. But how have you found the ramp up to go?
Well, first of all, here in Winnipeg, we're a little more advanced. There's 10 companies with these 24/7 self-serve water refilling stations with multiple locations. They're everywhere. The beauty of it is they're very convenient. I have taken that system and redesigned it. So we would start with, so I'm looking at purchasing land to create this upscale model of a 24/7 self-serve multi-car drive-in refilling station that'll have 100 dispensers starting with laundry soap and dish detergent, shampoo and body wash. We can grow. We're starting with non-edible liquid, powder, granular, and small items, and then moving to edible and all those categories. This is high volume dispensing, so we're like 1,288 gallons.
Well, they may not be
That's
that
low volume. So our competition is the small mom and pops and other little things, but they're more retail designed. I'm more B2B. So my showcase is going to market 4 revenue streams. Number 1, we're selling brand name product in wholesale volume, up to 5 gallons per container. So I have daycares, private schools, auto dealers, apartment complexes buying products from me on a weekly, regular basis. I'm just retail convenient. It's not my main focus. I'm more B2B. The next is selling franchises. So I have 6 US cities that would like franchising and 3 international cities. However, I brought in a new idea of manufacturing franchise. We're trying to make change rapid. It's fast to action. To do that, I'm selling manufacturing franchises to countries where they can actually create the manufacturing, grow the jobs, and expand rapidly within their territory. And they'll reduce their waste, their costs. All of that will happen within their country when they manufacture. So the third is just selling systems. I have a brand name retailer who I have a letter of interest for 182 locations to sell systems to, and created a drive-in model for them. And then if I do well with them, of course, the US and other big box retailers will look at it. So enabling the reuse habits with a drive-in model is a new experience that consumers will enjoy and will enjoy the savings that come with that.
And all the products are vetted. They're all clean and as clean.
They're all brand name. There is no intervention. It's the supplier to the system. That's it. The rest is the consumer is responsible for their containers. We will have cleaners there, but I would think that I'm going to show demonstrations how you clean your containers. I've used the same containers for 17 years. You clean your own containers. There's nothing really to be done. You add that little bit of water and the last bit of residue, shake it up and pour it into your laundry machine. It cleans itself out. I mean, there's nothing there to do. You maximize getting the product out. So it's learning these little, little habits that make big change, really. I mean, clean your own container. There's no reason to do something else. We want to reduce those costs. We're throwing money away, minimum $3,000 a year, like I was saying, on packaging. It's ridiculous, really. The waste industry. So I'm solving $1,000 billion problem a year. Number 1, the waste industry is making $863 billion. The beauty of the system is theft and shrinkage prevention. They can't steal anything because it's not in a package. And that's $100 billion a year. So we're at $963 billion, and the rest is ocean cleanup. So by transforming distribution with new infrastructure with AI technology to remove packaging will resolve many problems. And the beauty of it for business is removing the packaging will increase their profits. And that's where they will see that new change that we need. Plus the theft and shrinkage also helps.
Specifically, tell us how the AI technology works here, because that's an area I don't know that much about, but I know too much about waste. So bring those 2 worlds together for me.
The 2 worlds, okay. The front end automation for AI we'll have 100 dispensers and you want to fill 20 containers. The AI will be developed that you could put the containers in your car. You can prepay for everything, put the containers in your car, drive to the refillery, put the appropriate container in the appropriate dispenser, and with one voice command, refill all containers at the same time. You'd be in and out in 10 minutes.
And what kind of range of products are you going to have? Like you said, laundry detergent. I mean, and they are, I assume, I hope, all going to be the products themselves, the fluids, the liquids will all be vetted to be as clean and green as you can find, not just the containers, but what you're filling.
I'm promoting more eco-organic, but the truth is I'm really addressing the global plastic waste crisis. That's the main objective. So I don't care if it's brand name non-eco. I just want people to use whatever they want to use and reduce the waste. That's my main objective. I think that for the suppliers, they're going to see the change will reduce their costs. Right now, some are fighting it because there is a high profit margin hidden in the packaging. They hate losing that. But it is feeling good just to pay for the product and quit wasting money on packaging.
We're losing our oceans, by the way.
We are losing, and
ocean acidification and other problems. Yeah.
Well, you look at the supply chain of savings when the manufacturer doesn't have to make as many containers. You're looking at all that and all the carbon that we spend, carbon emissions playing with the containers even after the fact through the waste industry. It's ridiculous. They will see mega million tons of carbon emissions reduced.
Do you see the packaging industry transforming itself, seeing what's coming, or are they just going to be out of business because the overpackaging is epic, it's awful, and it's not a new problem, but there's finally newer solutions, more solutions. So what are they doing to prepare for this, or do they have their heads in the sand like some of the oil companies?
This is lean disruption. I am going to disrupt supply chain. You can be rest assured on that one. They're not prepared. I do see once they see the showcase and what I'm actually doing, there will be a major, probably acquisitions coming in from many channels, whether it be the wholesaler, the waste industry, they'll realize exactly what I'm doing. So you're going to see the plastic manufacturers, wholesalers, waste, tech, even because they missed the opportunity for all this project of limitless technology upscale, as well as what products we're going to sell and who we're selling the systems to. We're going to start with big box retail, but then we're going to airports and hospitals and universities and automotive, you name it. Every industry has to reduce waste. We're in. We can modify the system and downscale or upscale. We are at the max at 1,208. We're actually limitless on the volumes. COVID proved it couldn't. Shelving cannot, and I'm getting rid of shelving. That's what when you have shelving, you have packaging. When you go to technology and different infrastructure, you can change all of that. Eventually the stores will be the 24/7 self-serve. They've been trying to get there for 50 years. We will get them there. And the automation will be front end and back end. So
what about the fact that the oil companies are planning ahead and pushing plastic more and more? And that's just like solving one problem, not that we have, creating another one. And how can that be stopped? Because that's so disturbing.
Well, you'll see it in the no demand on containers. They're going to see that change. And I can assure you, with the combination, they have to realize they're a limited industry right now. The EV cars are coming in. I'm coming in. We're going to take away the oil and gas. And that's the number one problem of this world right now, is get rid of oil and gas, coal and diesel. They all must go away. When we disrupt all of these industries, they have to realize everything in life is a cycle. You have a business cycle and an industry cycle. Your industry is coming to an end. They should be diversifying into what's coming next. That would have been a smart move on their part. I don't see businesses or industries making smart moves right now. They're very slow.
Okay, so viewers of Green TV, you heard it here first from Colleen.
Yes.
Brennan-Vandersteen. She is changing the world, and that's why I love viewing eco-solutionaries. Are there, and I hope the answer is yes, are there competitors? Do you have people doing this in other countries, or are you truly leading the way?
I'm leading the way. What they don't realize is I have 3 phases. This is phase 1. I have 2 more to go. By the time they get to, I'm sure there's going to be copycat within 1 or 2 years from once I'm open.
You want that.
Which is fine. I don't care. To me, I don't care. If they're helping me transform distribution, go.
If they're helping to SOP.
Yes, you bet. Save our planet. Yeah, I'm not about I just want change. I want to see it better for my children and the next generations. We cannot leave them this mess. And if it's us to resolve it, then great. I mean, I'm happy to be part of the solution and not part of the problem. So
I love your ambitious goals. I want to see you expand as quickly as possible. How big is your operation? What kind of a staff do you have? Because this is a lot of work.
Well, I'm very fortunate through Clubhouse. I had another eco person who has acquired EU green bonds for a lot of money. And he came and said, I'm going to fund your full project. I'm like, my full project, like manufacturing to the big showcase? Absolutely. Give me your numbers and let's get going. Oh my God, you're like heaven sent. But there's a little bit of a time lapse between the EU green bonds and the investment bank underwriting. It's like 6 months. So right now I'm just looking for an investment group, real estate, whatever, to help me get going with my real estate and get that up and operational. And they will get paid back through the EU green bonds. And I will go full gung ho once all that money comes in. This is what's missing in economic development completely. Trust me, I've gone through a number of processes that are completely failed and are causing us all these issues in the world. And finance is the biggest roadblock. Funding has been absolutely the most archaic, unsophisticated process with their assessments. Their assessments are that everything is a trend, when in actual fact, there are changes that are essential. They can't seem to figure that out.
So do you see SOP refineries franchises around Canada, the US, the world, and how long might that take? And what if people are looking for something new to do? A lot of people are fed up with their jobs because of COVID.
Well, I think the investments and the industries and the businesses should definitely be looking at what's coming down the path. If they want to get involved and whatever is essential, you should be in. We are going to start in Canada, but we will put a brand new manufacturing in the US and manufacture throughout the US. I mean, if somebody wants to buy a US franchise, come and talk to me. I'll sell it. I consider selling it. I might just stay North American, the rest I'll sell the franchise. You know what? Whatever's fastest, I'm all in. That's what I'm trying to do. Speed to change is what we need. Speed to funding, speed to change. Exactly what I'm been working on. And honest, I've got quite the stories for all the time that I've worked through things. I want to point out people where all these changes need to occur. Finance totally needs a disruption as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so if viewers are watching and they're not necessarily looking for a new business to buy a franchise, although I think that'd be great, what can they do in the meantime if they just hate all the packaging and the products that they're buying? And especially as more of the world wakes up to the plastic pollution crisis. I mean, it used to be just annoying to have to undo really hard plastic, and even a scissors doesn't cut it. And then you open some of these things and there's more plastic and more plastic. For those of us who knew, it's so painful, but more people are getting to notice that this is ending up in our oceans, in our rivers and our streams, on our streets, and it will never, ever go away. It's an inert substance.
That was created for theft and shrinkage prevention, by the way. All that packaging was created so they couldn't put it in their pockets. We will change that. I do see online banking online shopping is not really doing anything sustainable because it's all packaging. So that will change when we come in as well. You're going to see a disruption to a lot of that because the experience for the consumer will be unique, and the youth are excited to hear of the change, and the reuse and refilling cannot be done with online shopping. So you'll see a change happen again. As for businesses, I think those that are in solar, wind, we will be the full eco package, the EV chargers, all these people, come see me. If your windows and glass, doors, if you want a new, should I say, outside sales, come and partner with me. We need all of these partnerships in order to grow the businesses quickly, and we can talk. So construction, building supplies, all those, we have opportunity.
When you mentioned, the theft prevention angle, that drives me crazy. If there's a little hard drive or something you're buying and the package is this big and you're at Best Buys, and if you're like me, you say something, why do you have to put this little thing? Theft. Well, meantime, we're stealing our children's future.
Yes. with all of it. We're killing trees to make cardboard and everything when we actually should be planting more.
To send out
And-
junk mail, which still clogs our mailbox, you know. I
Yeah,
mean,
no. So it's all going to go. You'll see rapid change. I think within the next 4 years, you're going to see some radical changes. I think finance is finally going to pick up when they realize that they're not really doing anything. They're not. I don't know. I have so many stories, really. I do see this going to be a movie someday on this startup. It'll be an Aaron Brockovich combination of Social Network on how this all happened and where I see failure and why that needs to change.
instead of who killed the electric car, who killed plastic packaging pollution?
Yeah,
You did, and you heard
can
it.
hardly wait. Can hardly wait. Trust me, it's been a drive. I'm a redhead. They should get out of my way.
Well, there are a lot of stories when you are on the front lines, and that's why I love, you know, interviewing the pioneers, because we are disruptors. We see a need, and we need more of us, especially as people do reevaluate their lives, their careers. Young people are coming up, but when people say, "Oh, Betsy, leave it to the Gretas of the world to solve all these problems," I say, if we don't at least try to start turning the sinking ship around, shame on us. And we need to give them a running start, right? We parents.
I
you're not
totally, I
parents.
think, and I think the women are going to know how to organize, clean up, and make things operate efficiently. I think they should just get behind us, and that's what I see.
You know what I call that? Womanifesting change.
Let's,
I think it's manifest.
let's see it. I'd love to see it. I'd love to make women investors very, very up there. I'm not driven by the money as much as I am about the change, but that's okay. They keep telling me you got to make money, Colleen, to make more change. Okay, I get it, but yeah, not really.
Not amen, but a women.
Yes, women. Yes, of
green
course.
change.
Yes,
Why
we need
not?
green change.
We're the
Thank
mothers,
you.
we're the nurturers. We certainly need help from men, and this is an intergenerational challenge, epic. So we need everybody, all hands on deck. Are we catching up in terms of eco-innovation on an industrial level, as well as sort of just consciousness raising?
I totally feel that most countries have come back to manufacturing within the country. I don't think China is going to be controlling anywhere near where they have been. I think it is to grow local jobs and expand. I totally see that. I do think exporting will be a thing of the past, though. So China, I see that changing an awful lot, where selling manufacturing franchise will be the more sustainable option to reduce carbon emissions and all types of, and growing it locally. I see that changing. That's my vision. I hope to make it come to life as well with those thoughts.
I love your vision, and I have written down that I should have Coanne, head of sustainable brands, on, because she has a lot of stories too. She's been at this almost as long as I have. I can't pronounce her last names. I've known her 15 years. I still can't pronounce her last name, but Coanne, sustainable brands.
Yes,
we'll get her on. Anything that we haven't touched on in the last couple of minutes you'd like to share?
No, I think we've covered the whole concept of, you know, like, I just show some of the products here, and then these are my favorite containers. I would suggest everyone start saving what you like. I would put hand soap and dish detergent and everything in these containers. They're very convenient, and I can fill my hand dispensers at all of my sinks using this, because it's perfect for dispensing.
What are they made of, those packages, those containers?
These are the laundry soap. I've got every color. I've got every color. And so I'm going to color code I'm going to create a whole new packaging setup for myself, but that's how I see it.
They are plastic, right?
These are plastic, but the packaging wasn't the problem. The root cause was distribution. I mean, everyone's been trying to change packaging, and we would still be paying those waste bills, which, honest, the waste industry is constantly growing, and we need to just stop. Like the packaging going to, you know, seaweed, and that's not the issue. You're still going to throw it out and create waste. You don't want any waste. We need to terminate that. And that's by reusing.
Reuse, exactly. And I've long said,
Reuse efficiency, I call it reuse efficiency.
and I say convenience clashes with conservation. And we've gotten so far down the convenience road that we've got to have that backlash because it's insane, really.
We will make it faster than going into a store by refilling. And you will see a lot of changes, and it's all for the better. It's going to be the experience with the technology that everyone will want to see. I like it's coming. And I think it's the only solution that answers many, many problems.
SOP
Yes.
Refillery is coming soon to a city near you, right? We hope.
Awesome. Yes.
Okay. Thanks
Yes.
so much. Go forth and greenify, and we'll check back with you, see how you're doing 6 months, a year down the road. And I don't
Yeah.
doubt your progress. You got the brains, you got the ambition, you've got the model. So just ramp it up, as fast as you can. And hopefully this interview will help spread the word.
We'll bring you to the grand opening.